Hey crafters, so glad to see you today. It's another Thursday, and here we are running with sisters again. I am Nicole Watt. This is my channel, Nicole Watt Creates. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to see a whole bunch of you out there already. And if you are new to the channel, if you're new to my live stream, I'd love for you to pop into the comments and say hello. Tell us where you're from. We've got people from all over the world that love to join us, and I'm so glad that you are here too. It's another Thursday, and I can't believe that another week has flown by, although it seems like it's been a long week. Last Thursday was a long time away for some reason. A lot of times it just rolls really quickly, but it seemed like there was a big gap in between weeks this week. So maybe that's a good thing. Like, I had things under control, right? Things were going on. I was like focused. I had things like seriously under control. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe time will slow down a little bit now that I'm getting ahead on lots and lots of stuff. Anyway, let's see. We've got folks popping out in the chat. Hello to everybody out there. So glad you could join me. Don't forget to hit the like button if you love today's content. I really appreciate that. We're going to run through our announcements really quick. Basically, they're the same as last week. So next month, so starting next week, we're going to be doing dies only, featuring Ulta new dies. And that's because I'm going to be participating in some hops next month with some new releases with Ulta News. So keep your eyes peeled for some new stuff. Just the way that the days work out, sometimes I'm actually going to be previewing a product. So don't tell. You're going to love it. So make sure that you stay tuned. Some of them will be old dies, some of them will be new dies. Some of the new dies that I have aren't going to be, we're not going to talk about those actually until April. Yes, I'm actually creating into April right now. That's how ahead I am on some things, which is awesome. So anyway, that's next month. We'll talk about March's stamp set real quick here in a minute, because I've got it pulled out and I've got the links down below in case you want to get it. I love March's projects. They are gorgeous. And I hope that you follow along and give some of the techniques and projects a try. Anyway, let's see. The Card Maker Summit is coming up in February. That starts on February 17th. We will be starting registration on February 2nd. So that's next Tuesday. If you're not on my mailing list, you want to get on my mailing list. So go to NicoleWattCreates.com/subscribe, and that will take you to a subscribe page where you can get onto my mailing list so you can find out about registration for that right away. You can go out there and get on the waiting list right now, and that'll work too. Let's see, crafty sales, always some great crafty sales going on. So make sure you're checking out that page before you go shopping. I do try to put out coupon codes and all the sale information that I know of. A lot of those are affiliate links, so I appreciate that. And of course, the affiliate links for today's projects are down below. So if you use any of those, I might receive a small commission, no additional cost to you. Really great way to support all of us crafters out there. So I thank you for that. And of course, the tip jar is always open. I appreciate all of your support with that. So thank you. Let's see, if you're creating any projects that are inspired by anything that I create here, like Cece, I saw some of your projects this week on Instagram. Thank you for tagging me. Tag me at Nicole Watt Creates so I can check out your projects and leave you some comment love. I really do love to see what you're inspired by when I'm creating these projects here. So anyway, hey, tip jar people, thank you so much for dropping a couple bucks in the tip jar. I totally appreciate it. You might be anonymous up there, but I know who you are. So thank you so much. And also, okay, here's a new thing. Thank you to all of these folks who subscribed to my channel in the last couple of days. I appreciate your support by clicking on that subscribe button and becoming a part of my YouTube community. So thank you guys. Okay, so I've got a let me think about it. Am I missing anything? Oh, while we're live today, if you want to share out and we can get some more people joining along with us, don't forget to click that share button, and then you can share the live stream out on your Facebook or on other social media, and people can pop on over and join us live, which would be very, very cool. Oh, Cece, you need to sign up for the event. There is so much going on that you do not want to miss out. I've seen all of the presentations already since I'm a presenter, You're going to love all the techniques and the insight that you're going to get, all the project ideas. The project workbook itself is going to give you like an overload of ideas. So much going on. There are sponsors, tons and tons of craft sponsors that will also be doing live streams over on Facebook and YouTube. And there's the Facebook group. There's going to be giveaways. I mean, really, you do not want to miss this. You don't need to be brave. Just sign up. Just do it. Okay. Let's see. New subs. We talked about clicking that like button. We talked about sharing. We talked about affiliate links. We talked about the summit. We talked about all sorts of things. Oh, let's talk about March. Okay, so next month we're doing all to new dies. And you can have really any dies for those. We're going to do some flower layering dies. We're going to do standalone dies. We're going to do background cover dies. All sorts of different dies. So any dies you have, go for it. Oh, and yeah, Paula, it's free. CC, gotta sign up. Okay, so in March, and I've got this linked down below. It's right before the rest of the supplies, so I could call it out specifically. This is the stamp set that we are going to be using in March. So not next month, but the month after. Yes, I'm already working out that far ahead. This is a stamp set by Picket Fence. It's called Walk, Crawl, or Run. And it's these awesome Converse tennis shoes. Love them. We're going to do all sorts of really cool techniques with these. We're going to do some fussy cutting. We're going to do some coloring with alcohol ink. We're doing all sorts of really great projects with this stamp set. And all of the sentiments that go along with it. We're going to use some of those too. So if you want to follow along and get this stamp set ahead of time, this is the one. I've got links for scrapbook.com and Picket Fence Studios down below. And you can grab yourself this stamp set so we can work it. There is no die, but let me tell you, these chucks are easy to cut out. Okay. That's March. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about now. Okay. So this is today's project, and I do have a poll out there today. If you haven't answered the poll yet, go back up to the top of the chat and pull down the poll. And let's see. I have 5 people voted, and all of you said that your scraps are a hot mess. Well, we're going to use up some scraps today. I'm going to show you again my scrap solution really quick. So maybe that can get you inspired to clean up your scraps. And we're going to make oodles of cards. So that's why I really want to get moving, because we've got tons of cards to make. Okay, so let me show you. This is my scraps bin. These are the only scraps I have. This is it. I do not have like boxes and boxes of scraps. At some point, like I do, like maybe every 4 to 6 months, I go through here and I pull out stuff that just doesn't really appeal to me and I toss it. Okay. But otherwise, see, I've got all my big stuff in the back. So like if I'm doing gel plates or anything like that, like bigger pieces, I've got those all back here. Right, so I can find them really easily. And then I've got my extra storage pockets, okay? And then I've got some slightly smaller stuff here, like 5 by 7-ish. And then I get even smaller. So these are like A2 card size. Some of them are even already on card bases. But I put them in here so that I can just rifle through and grab and go. I'm going to actually back out just a little bit more so you can see a little better. All right, so you can see, I mean, this is not a very large box of scraps. All right, and then of course in the front here, I know I've talked about this before, so I'm just kind of glossing through it. I use those little pockets. These are like for CDs, DVD pockets. To store all of my die cut pieces. So they're kind of like a little ephemeral pockets, if you will. So I have all my die cut pieces, and I just separate these out into different groups. So like these are just like items, objects, if you will. The next one back here is geometrics. So all my geometric die cuts are back here. And then I've got florals. So whether they are die cut florals or maybe partially die cut, partially used, or just stamped. All right, if they're on like bigger sheets like some of these are, I just leave them in the sheets by themselves. And then I've got words, all sorts of different words, die cuts, and even stamped ones that are like strips. All right, positives, negatives. Some already have like double-sided adhesive on them. Some of them are like stamped. Like I don't know if I'll use that, but in 6 months I'll decide, right? That's it. And then we go back into our, these are like our uber small scraps. Like I keep my uber small scraps in a little pocket here. And this is as small as I get, guys. I'm not going for micro scraps. I'm never going to use them. All right. So here's my scraps bin. All right. So for today's projects, we're doing some collage. This is simple collage. It's kind of a formula that I use to create a simple collage look like these guys here. Okay, so what I did is I went through my scraps bin and I pulled out pieces of cardstock and shapes and things that match, that look good together. All right, so you're not going to go in your scraps bin and pull out, you know, like orange and purple, and then, you know, like I'm not going to match these two things together, right? So find one thing that you're really kind of interested in, like, oh, I really like this piece. And then you're going to go through, like I could even pull these out. I forgot that I even had these because these have like this really cool pattern on them. All right, so, you know, you're going to go through and pull out the pieces that coordinate, right? So this would even work, but I have enough pulled out already. All right, so you go through your scraps bin, you go through all your little pieces, parts up front, and pull out all the things that match. Go overboard. All right, so let me show you what I have. I added those into the pile. I've got some, like this is the grayest piece that I have. Most everything is white with pinks and corals and purples on them. All right, so I've got all sorts of strips. Strips are really great for collage style, okay? And I've even taken some of these bigger pieces and I've cut them down into like 1/4 inch and 3/8 and 1/2 inch strips because we're going to use these as well. So rectangular pieces and strips are really good for collage. If you're not comfortable with the collage style, but you've always wanted to do it, today is the day for you because we're going to work on simple collage style that will make you very successful very quickly with it. Okay, so I've got those. I've also pulled out some larger pieces. So these guys would be great little background pieces. So like this could be, and I've got all of my card bases. So this could be like a centered piece, and then we could build a collage off of that. All right, so I've got a whole pieces that I can use for backgrounds. Even this like wonky die cut piece. Remember these? Gosh, I did these ages ago. We talked about using direct paper and swirling. So I pulled this out. I thought, oh, this will look really great with a collage. And then some other, here's another one. And then this one actually was in my scraps bin. It was already mounted. Excellent, right? And so now I've got like a sprayed background as well. So we're going to use all these for backgrounds. I'm very excited about using up all of this stuff, right? All right, backgrounds. I also pulled out washi tape. All right, so pull out some washi tape that coordinates. This is the Cherry Blossoms washi tape, and this is Rose Petal. Yes, the Rose Petal washi tape set. This is just 2 colors from it. And then this one is the Golden Stream washi tape. All right, so I pull out some washi. Lots of that. I've got some sequins. This is the Black Russian sequins mix from Picket Fence. So we'll use these for embellishments. And then, of course, I've got all of those hearts that we made from like December and January. I've got all sorts of different little hearts. See, that's why it was a good idea to just cut all of those messy hearts from the stamp market, because now I can use these all for little extras, right? So I've got all sorts of hearts. And here's the last one. Like, I don't know if I'll use this because that doesn't really look like a heart. It looks almost like an L. But the rest of them I will definitely use. I've got some solid ones here. I did find some of these bottle cap, which will also make kind of a cool look. And then sometimes a little bit of vellum is in order. So I pulled out a couple vellum circles I've got. All right, and then the only thing left is some sentiments. So because we're talking about hearts and not necessarily love or a Valentines, I pulled out these waffle flower stamp sets. And I've had this one for a long time, the Simply Said one. And I love this beautiful script. And of course, they've got dies, so that's really awesome. And then I just recently got these. These are Sentiment Editions and Sentiment Editions 2. So there's a hello in here. It's a different it's a different script. It's a different font than this one, so that's kind of nice. So there's a hello in here. There's, you know, a thank you, love you. I'll probably use this one. My friend, you know, so these are really good stamps sets with coordinating dies. And so we're going to use all this stuff. I do have this love from last week too, but I think we're probably not going to use that. Whew. Look at all this stuff. Okay. Let's go. Create. So I have 10 card bases ready to go to add to this pile of cards that I've already created. And we're just going to start going at it. All right, so we're going to pull one from the top and get going. Hey, so let's start with this one because it's already got the card base attached. So we'll start. All right, so simple collage is just about taking pieces and layering them in a way that looks really nice. And you know, half the battle is getting scraps out of your scraps bin. Okay. So like I've got these strips here. These strips are all going to look great. Like it does not matter what I pick. All right. All of these are going to look great because all the colors are already coordinating, right? So maybe these two are good. So I'm just going to go through and start picking out, like, I really love the idea of this little detail here. So we might not see the top of this ever, which is fine. But maybe we don't need this extra here. All right, so I might do something like that. So this is a top fold. And there's a couple of ways that I work my collage. Either I am grounding them to the right. And then, you know, like I've got extra, like it's uneven on the left-hand side, or I'm kind of building it in the center. And it doesn't matter if it's a top fold or side fold, you can do either way. All right. So let's do a right grounded one. And so I'm going to start like with this here, and I'm probably going to put maybe some washi tape because look, this washi tape looks really good with the with this little bit here. So I'll probably put some washi tape on top of that. And then you need to start thinking about like different layers. So this is all about layering. I've got this fun glossy piece. So maybe we add in glossiness. And when you're working off the right side, you can just kind of place things and don't worry about it coming off because you can just snip these right off the end, right? So I also like to use my little center piece here to work from. So we can kind of set this aside for now. We know that we're going to be working here, and I'm going to do something like this. So maybe this is too long. This is when having like a small paper trimmer is comes in handy, but I don't have one. I haven't found one that I like really. So I might just even cut off more of this and say this is going to go here. But we're probably going to take like some strips. Let's take a strip. And we'll put a strip underneath. Now, when you get to the left side, you don't want it to extend all the way across. All right, so that's kind of what the right grounding looks like. So you can either take your snips and like snip it at an angle to give it some interest. All right, so this is kind of coming together. And I've got all these big pieces in here. The one thing that I like in here that I have is this one that was I used a embossing folder with from Altenew. I love this embossing folder because it gives me instant height because this is like a 3D folder. So I can add this in here, you know. So again, you know, cut what you're comfortable with. If you need to use your paper cutter, use your paper cutter. All right, so this is kind of coming together. See, look at how quickly this can come together. So we're going to add some washi tape into this. And honestly, like these 3 or 4 pieces is just enough. All right, so you don't need to go overboard when you're doing collage. All right, so let's make sure that we're open from the top. And like I said, I wanted to take this piece and kind of put it here. So the first piece is always the most important because it's going to get you in the right angles. You don't want to put your first piece on there and have it all wonky, because then everything's going to be wonky. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of washi tape and cover that up because that's kind of what I was looking for. All right. So I'm going to line up my little, let's put it all the way down here. So I'm using my board to kind of get me going in the right place. And so I want to make sure that everything is nice and square. Of course, washi tape is usually pretty forgiving. So if you do need to pull it up and get things back in place, you can. All right, so this bottom piece, of course, is not, it's not washi tape. So I'm going to just get a little glue on there. Now that we know what we're doing. And you commit. At some point, you got to commit, guys, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so there we go. First piece down. All right, so let's take this next piece and pop that across. All right, so again, I don't want to go all the way to the end, but I want to go far enough that it's not like right in line with everything else so far. Okay, I can add in some more washi if I want. Well, this is kind of similar to the color I'm using, so let's do this one here. And sometimes you don't know like how much is really going to show until you're done. So you might put a piece down and then all of a sudden it's completely hidden, and that's okay too. All right, so I've got this fun glossy piece. This is from like forever ago. I know what I use this for, but it's been a while. All right, so that's a whole lot to cover up that space. What am I going to do? Let's cut it. So I'm going to take my ruler and just do a, so I could use either side. All right, so this I might actually want to do, no, that's not gonna work. Let's do this. So this is just play, guys. This whole thing is just play. Again, if we're trying to keep it grounded on the right-hand side, let's move this all the way over to the right and just ground it right there. This is photo paper, so sometimes it doesn't stick right away. All right, and then I've got this piece here. So I don't even know if I want to use this piece now. Let's see, what else can we add in here? That looks kind of fun. Yeah, so Cece says this looks fun. She knows what she's going to do this weekend. So yeah, absolutely. You know what? This is great. You turn on a little bit of TV or music or whatever it is that you enjoy crafting with, and you just start playing away with this kind of thing. All right, so actually I'm going to flip this up this way so I can really see that torn edge. I like to tear a lot when I'm doing a collage like this. Okay, so I'm not going to use this guy, I don't think. No. Okay, so you totally changed my mind. But I'm going to pop this in right here, but I want it to pop up. So we're going to add in some double-sided adhesive, and I'm trying to use up some of the random stuff that I have. Again, kind of like in the spirit of scraps, right? So grab some stuff that you've been trying to use up and use it up. All right. So let's see, what other good news do we have out there? So Erin says she cleaned up all of her scraps yesterday. They're organized and she feels so good. Yeah, it's amazing what a little scrap cleanup can do for you. All right. So already just totally cute, right? So we've got like a little bit of, see, I covered up this piece of washi here. Now you're never going to see it, but that's okay. I've got the rest of this washi here. Really like that a lot. If I wanted to extend, see, I have a little bit of wiggle room here still. I could add a little piece of gold maybe. Yeah, it's cool. All right. So then we're just going to trim off our edge here and more scissors. If the piece is long enough, you can save it to use for yet another scraps project, or you can just toss it, of course. See, look at how cool that is. It came together so quickly. And then we just need to add in a, you can add in a piece, a shape if you want, or you can completely omit it. So let's say I want to add in just this little heart here. Or maybe I don't even want to because I really like the candies that I've got going on there. So what would fit on there? So this is the only thing that I don't have done up from my scraps is stamps, sentiments. So I could add in, see, the hugs would fit on there really cute. Let's do that. I just have my mini blossom over here, so we can just stamp and CC. What does she say? The background spray looks like, oh, it does kind of look like a heart. You're totally right. You guys are always so observant. Love it. All right. So I'm just going to use classic, right? VersaFine Clair. VersaFine Clair, favorite black ever. On some white cardstock. The lovely accent opaque. The best bang for your buck. So nice. And we're going to die cut it out. These dies are nice because they do have holes in them so you can see through. That's a good thing. Cece, I love seeing all of your cards with all of your lovely dies from local. Like they're not English, they're Swedish, right? So I love that. Where is my... I don't know how to say any of them, but, and thank you for the translations. But I love your projects. All right. The cool thing about the stamp set too is that it doesn't cut out like the center bits, so it's all just like one big shadow background, which is nice. I like that. So then this can just get put on here straight away like so. You could kind of come up off the top. That's actually kind of a cool look. So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, we're just going to put glue on the bottom side. I'm sure your friends like that you have Swedish on your cards too, because, well, they can understand it. I'm sure that you all speak English anyway, but. Or a lot of you speak English. All right, so see, so cute. I just did it across the top instead of centering it on this piece, and so now it kind of is framed by those. You can leave this little bit hanging off, that's okay. When you put it in a envelope, it'll be just fine. Just that little bit hanging off there, no big deal. All right, so cute. And we didn't even put the heart in here. It didn't really need it because we've got all this other stuff going on. And of course, we're going to add in some sequins, so pop in a couple sequins. I like this sequins set for this project because it's got these ginormous blacks sequins. If you want to do something really bold, you can. Let's put that down there. Apparently have like some glue or something on my tweezers. See, it keeps sticking. Guess I need to clean those off. Let's use these instead. Alright, so pop that and that. There. Let me pull you guys in. Yeah. All right. All right. Ta-da. First little collage card. Super cute. All right, so that we'll add that to the collection. I have so much going on. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna just pop that into the collection box. And let's move on to another one. Okay. So I'm going to pick a background. I'm going to use, I'm going to use this background. And then while I'm doing that, you guys let me know which background should I use next. Should I use the splattery one or should I use the butterflies? Let me know which one I should use next. All right, so let me know, butterflies or splatter? Butterflies, splatter. Cece wants to know different sizes in the jar. Yeah, this sequins mix has all of these different sizes in it. So these huge saucery ones are in there. And then all of these other different sizes. It doesn't really have, I mean, I guess it has super small ones. I mean, that's as small as they get. But compared to that, that's pretty good. All right, splatter, splatter, butterfly. All right, so this guy is going to go in our card base. Put that on right away. All right, so this is another vertical one, all right, because that's the way the card opens, and then the way that I've got that on here, it really just kind of means that that's going to be a top there. All right, so let's make sure we get a heart in here. Maybe we'll even do 2 hearts. That's kind of cute. And diving into our scraps pile, we've got, so because I've got this piece in the background, like the rest of this is going to need to just be like strips and other little pieces. So we're going to do some strips and we're going to do, like I could even reuse this piece here, but we're going to build it just in the center. So let's do that. We're going to do that. And this is a piece of, yeah, it's not going to cut. This is a piece of Yupo paper. It's not going to cut. So we can do that. Let's do that. All right, so got that. We're going to do some washi tape. So let's... Okay, so remember what I said. You got to make sure that that first one is really on there nice and square, so that you have something to work from. All right, so there we go. I'm going to take these guys here. All right, and they may even need to be cut down a little, because I just want them to like tuck out. So that, and then, so sometimes you can add in a little bit of color, right? And this would be okay to like get some of this intermediate in there. I don't know if I want the blue in there or not, but I really like this centerpiece. So let's just tear a piece of this out. And this is what I like about tearing, is that you can create your own little torn piece. Right? It doesn't need to be even, but that'll look good in there. All right, let's, so guiding principle is going to be these hearts here. What do we need to do to kind of add more to this? Maybe nothing. It's possible. That's pretty. And you start going through your trash and you're like, oh wow, all these little pieces are so pretty. So even though I like this in there, maybe I want more like that. Because I like that piece. What do I want to do? Okay, so Sue has a question for me while I'm working here. A whole roll of rice paper. Oh boy. We talked about rice paper a couple months ago, and I can't remember what the story was with the rice paper. Sue, I don't know offhand, but I'll have a think on it and let you know. All right, so I like this brighter piece better. We are going to kind of layer our hearts like so. And seriously, that could be enough. What I am going to do, though, is now that I'm kind of seeing this, I'm going to take some of this washi tape and kind of extend this. Like so. All right, so don't forget, guys, we are thinking about our next card already. So did we want the splatter piece or did we want the butterflies? If you didn't comment yet, let me know. All right, so these guys don't have to look pretty in the center here, right? Because they're going to get covered. We just want to make sure that they are nice and square on here. All right, so that whole little center bit there is going to get covered anyway. So we are good with that. That's going to go right there. Ooh. I know what I want to do. These squares make it really easy to cut. So I'm going to pop that right in the center. So that's going to give me some height. And some interest because we got like these little squares coming around. That's really kind of cute. Again, not going to the edge. We want to kind of keep it contained in our little circle here. So this is going to go on top, but now it's got this guy popped up underneath. So we need to put some foam strips or squares or whatever on the back, on the top and the bottom only though. So like like on the top here. And then I'll put a little bit of adhesive in the center. Because I think, guys, we are split like 50-50. We got splatter, so maybe we have more people wanted the splatter. All right, so there's that. And then these guys are going to go like so. Really, really cute. You can intertwine them too, which will be really nice. So there we go, cute little intertwined parts. Hey, we need a sentiment. This love would look really cute on there if I had a shadow for it. Let's go for this. So I think we'll use the My Friend on this one. This is Sentiment Editions. Yeah, so I don't know how many of these we're going to get through, guys, but I know that I'll be making more because I've got card packs and such that I'm going to be sending out to friends for Valentine's Day, my gal pals and other friends that I think would really appreciate a little package of cards. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting together like about 4 cards that I'm going to send to them along with the card that I'm sending for them. All right. And I'm going to actually stamp the envelopes for the cards. So that way they don't have any excuse. They can take those cards right inside of them, pop them in the mail. Don't even have to think about it. All they have to do is find the address of the person they want to send it to. So hopefully they have that. And make it super simple. It gets cards out of my stash, but it also is this the die set that I was looking at? Yes, this is the right die. Gets them out of my stash, but it also gets them out and used, right? We want people to use our creations. And hopefully they'll use them. Like, I always love it when friends are like, oh, I have all those cards that you sent me. I never used them. I'm like, use them. I have more. I can send you more. Isn't that funny when people do that? Oh, I didn't use the cards you sent me. They were too beautiful. Send them. All right. So cute. Check this out. Bloop. That is so awesome. I mean, come on, guys. Use your scraps. This is so fantastic. I'm going to use all this stuff up today, this weekend. Nancy, thank you for helping out Sue. Nancy says there are a whole bunch of videos on how to use rice paper in paper crafts, and Sue is going to look it up. So Sue, when you do something with it, share, because I can't think that I've ever used rice paper before. Guys, I love this one. Look at how that came together. Would you have ever thought to like pull out this little direct to paper background and add just these little bits? No. So adorable. I love it. All right. And again, gotta sequins it up. Of course, like you can gemstone it. You can do whatever you want. I'm addicted to these big fat ones. But we're going to do like a little mix and match here. So don't be afraid to mix and match your sequins. That's what I wanted. You can put different colors together. They don't have to be all matchy-matchy all the time. All right. If you're following like the little triangle principle, it works out really well, of course. All right, so that's what I'm going to do on this one. Yeah, so Sue says she loves it when family members tell her that they've used her cards, and then when they also tell like which one that they love the best. Yeah, I totally agree. So I had to laugh, like a bunch of my cousins, they all got cards sometime last year, and I just sent over a whole bunch of them so that they could pick out the ones that they wanted for themselves. And then they all signed one of my cards and sent it back to me. It was so sweet. I really liked that. Yeah, Cece. She said she wasn't sure about it when I started, but when it was put together, it turned out adorable. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to turn out that cute either, but bam, there it is. So cute. All right, another one for the stash. Okay, so let me go back and where is my mouse? Oh, there it is. Gotta go back and look and see what you guys said. You said splat, splat, butterfly, splat. I think we're going with the splatter background. Okay, so with this background, oh, let's do a horizontal one. Okay, hard base. This guy's gonna go on here. So, okay, so with this, we want a contrast, right? So with everything we've done so far has had a primarily white background, right? And this one has a very busy background. So, all right. We're going to do another center version instead of an offset, mostly because this you can do the offset. That's okay. I would just maybe bring it only up to this edge, but you can overrun it. It will work that way too. Maybe we'll do the next one like that. But this one I'm going to do in the center. And again, we just want to like kind of ground this with some solid colors. We used that last time. Let's use that. So adding in some washi tape is always a good start. And for this one, I'm going to do... So here's the cool thing is that you can see through the washi tape, right? So you're going to get like different levels of texture. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of washi and do a little overlap on this one. Okay. So this is how we're going to start. This one I think would look really great with this other piece of, no, too busy. So here's the challenge on this one is finding stuff that isn't as busy or that kind of contrasts really good. This has XOXOs in it. I was doing some playing around with some things. This will not work. This will work. See, look, all of a sudden I have like little strips now because I've been ripping off my edges. So those are helpful. No. Oh, here we go. This, okay, so this piece is like a faux watercolor. So this was a stamp and then I did like the faux watercolor technique with it. So that will work. Or I could just do like this light, this one that has this light bit on it. These guys are too busy. This would work too. So I am finding some things that will work. So it's basically contrast, right? So if you've got a busy background, ooh, this will work. That will work very well. If you have a busy background, you want a more calm and solid foreground. Even this will work because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. This will work because it is like the super smushed version of this, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of very crisp detail in the background here, right? With all these splatters. But with this, it's nice and loose and smushed. So you could use these both together, right? Because there's a likeness, but enough of a difference that it works, right? It's kind of how this one works too. Right, so I could use this. I think that's too much. And again, this is why this one works too, because it's very soft. But I kind of like this one better. All right. So this needs just a little trim. If I was feeling brave, I would do flagged ends, but I don't feel brave today. So that will work. Yes, we can add in some of that darker thin washi tape. This one is going to look really good with this here, right? Or this, either way. Let's go with the brighter one. Find my end here. And we can even just all right, so if we get the tape too close to the end, just get your finger there and pull it off. Throw the rest on the ground. Okay, so we're going to do both. Because I'm going to line these guys up to each other. So here's another contrast. The straight lines versus all of the circles in the background, right? So again, another kind of study in contrast. We have all of these straight lines happening, but we have this really bold, splotchy background. That works too. Look at how cool that is. Coming together. So now we need just like a nice calm place in the center for our sentiment to live. And that's going to be this piece here. I could even go for the more blue side, but I think I'm going to stay with this side here. I don't know how big this piece needs to be yet, but I have an idea. I think I might do something like that. Okay, and then this piece needs to fit inside so you can see these angles really well. So this piece from inside to inside, so I gotta get a little scientific here. I'm gonna measure it. 1, 2, 3 3/4. So I think I'm gonna cut this piece down to 3 1/2, and I'm gonna make it square. Okay, so Lisa, I just totally got what you meant. Throw it on the ground so it sticks to your socks. Yes, absolutely. And that little piece of washi tape, I just threw it on the ground, and I'll find it on the bottom of my shoe later for sure. Yes. With the added texture of cat hair, you know it, Nancy. All right. So this guy, see if I do, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So this is going to end right in our center here, like so. And I'm going to put this right over the top, and then our sentiment word on top of that, maybe with a heart, because you know this month is like hearts. So I should probably put some hearts on things. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Okay. So that helps get this square. So not a huge contrast here, but you'll see that kind of weave through. So this I will put down flat. At some point I do want to do like some popping up here, right? So I'm going to do that next. So all this is just flat on the card. It's got so much texture going on. Look at all that. And then this has got sparkle on it too. So yummy. This is the leftover piece from when we did that, the hearts backgrounds. I was messing around and trying to get things to look right, and I had a leftover piece from that, and I was like, yes. All right, so this is going to go like so. And don't forget, if you've got things like extending all the way out to the edge, you want them to be supported. So since we're popping this up, we want to make sure that we've got our glue or our foam strips on everything. And this one I'll put, you know, like some extra on here because I want to make sure that this piece really, what am I doing? I don't need that. I want to make sure that's nice and solid on my card. So I'll be kind of glad when I'm done with these little pieces here because they're a little thicker than I like for foam, but I like the ones from scrapbook.com. Okay, so Sue wants to know where I got these from. So these I know were from like a kit that I had from like eons ago, but scrapbook.com makes the skinny strips like this. They're longer even, and they're great for shaker cards because you can kind of weave them around. Which way do I want to go? I don't know. Will it matter in the end? It's hard to say. All right, so what I'm seeing right now is this is like going to cover everything up, and I don't want that. So I'm going to pull some of those off. I'm going to have to do some creative cutting. See, I'm glad I didn't put it down because I need to make this thinner. Yep, those are all right. So I had to do some creative cutting because it wasn't going to work out the way I really wanted it to. And actually that doesn't really look the way I want it to either. Guys, I feel like it's covering up too much. I might set this aside. No. Let's, because that's, okay, let's try this again, because this is too pretty. But that would work if I just did that one little piece. All right, so we'll save this for something else. Oh, you know what? Let me see. So I did. Yep, that's the winner. All right, so this needs to be 5.5. Ooh, I think I'm gonna try something kind of cute here. All right. So again, with the foam strips. Ha! Anne says, time to just add a heart and sentiment. Yeah, I'm thinking that too, maybe. But here's my thought. So we'll pop this guy here. All right, so that's going to give us like a little platform. And we've got these hearts, right? So this is going to help them pop. All right, so this gives them just a little bit of something to hang out on, which I like. Anne says it still covers too much. Well, here we are. Yeah, because you liked this piece behind here, didn't you? It's okay. I won't send this one to you. Did I just use it on my friend? All right, so this one says, love you. You know, I don't even have a towel pulled out today. Sue is vying for this card. She says, I love it because of the splatters. So, Sue, maybe you'll get this card. So if you wanted to, you know, spice this up a little bit, of course, you could pick a different color ink. I'm perfectly fine with just using the black because there's so much other stuff going on that I really don't need to go crazy with ink colors and all that other stuff too, right? The hearts on this right now, I think, is what's making it adorable. So there we go. All right, so guys, we are actually after 5 o'clock. And as you can see, this is fun. It's just a great playtime and an opportunity to get through your scraps and do all sorts of really cool things. We did not get to the butterfly background, but I will make sure to do that one and pop it up on Instagram so you can see it. And I will be working on these some more tomorrow. Our Bloom Crafters group is getting together tomorrow. So our membership group, we're having a little craft and chat tomorrow. So you know what I'll be working on. I'll be making more of these because I do need to get them out into the mail. And when I have them done, I will definitely take some pictures, pop them up on Instagram so you guys can see them. And let me know which ones you end up liking the best. Yeah, totally. Okay. So, see, okay, I think what happens is the sentiment is what makes it, because these sentiments are so adorable. They're like the perfect little scripty look for these cards. All right, so now, and it kind of comes together, doesn't it? Because that's just adorable. Right, so I might pop a couple of little foam squares behind here just to keep that up a little bit. And then, of course, add some sequins. Go to the sequins. And we'll have another one down. So I'm so glad you guys stopped in today. We had a little fun with all of our leftovers from the month. And I hope this inspired you to give you some ideas on how you can use your scraps, how to pull out your scraps, especially to use them effectively. So the first key is to, of course, pull out pieces that look good together. So same color families, coordinating color families. Definitely want to stick with just like, 2 or 3 looks that look good together. You don't want to go overboard with all the different, go all the way around the color wheel, unless you're making like rainbow stuff, which is, of course, you're grabbing everything from the rainbow then. But yeah, so pick things that look good together. And of course, we learned as well that if you're going to have a crazy background, you need to break it up with some solid stuff, right? So opposites attract, definitely. So you've got the splatters and the straight stuff, right? And then if you're going to have a nice calm background, you can have some more fun things going on, right? So if you've got like a plain white background, you can go crazy with color and texture. If you've got a crazy background, you want to bring it down a notch. All right, so we've got all these fun cards that I've got done, ready to put into some card groups and send out to my friends. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed it. This time goes by so fast, especially when we're just kind of playing with everything here and having a good time together. So thanks for popping in today, guys. And we will be back next week. Like I said, we are starting with Altenew dies next week. And next week, I will tell you, is going to be the new Craft-A-Flower die. So pull out your favorite Craft-A-Flower and you can craft along with me and get some great inspiration for all of your Altenew dies next month. So thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit the like on the way out, and I will see you next week. If I don't see you tomorrow, of course, I will see you next Thursday here at Running with Scissors, and I appreciate your time as always. Mwah. Have a great weekend, guys.